Welcome back to the third part of installing Linux on a virtual machine. This is part 3. I started this yesterday and got it all done after about an hour, and it didn't take. I noticed something fishy when I was recording it, that halfway through it things were starting to act weird, like the mouse was starting to lock and hang up. And sure, what happened is it just stopped recording and just recorded sound, so now we're starting all over again. So therefore, I had to uninstall phpMyadmin so that I could show you how to reinstall it now. So let's start by doing it now. We're going to follow this guide here from DigitalOcean. Once again, this DigitalOcean is a really good site for finding things, okay? For the deal here. Now we've already got everything else set up except phpMyadmin. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the update. So I've already got the server up and running and minimized. And I've got my SSH DOS window already connected and logged in. So I'm going to be able to use it and copy and paste like I did before. So let's do this. I'm going to check for updates. Come on, you can finish. By the way, to help prevent this from having that problem I had yesterday on the VirtualBox, I took the memory, adjusted the memory to where I did not give Linux or the virtual machine that much memory. I kept 3 gigs for my laptop, so I wouldn't have any problems with it recording this time. And now you notice it says one package can be upgraded, so let's do this. We're going to do upgrade. It didn't want to do it for some reason. It said they've been deferred due to phasing. I'm not sure what that means, but that's okay. Let's clear this out. And we'll go back here. And we will copy this. Something doesn't sound right here. Let's go ahead and do it. And we're going to click yes on this. We want it to use the dbconfig common. And we're going to think of a password for this. I do believe I already created one. Let me see if this is it. Yep, this is what I used. You notice I got uppercase, lowercase, and number, special characters. And right here, we are not going to choose Apache or the other one. We're just going to tab on down to OK, because we're using Nginx. Remember when we set up SQL, we bypassed the thing about figuring out a password? And this is exactly why we did it. We bypassed it because it was going to ask us for a password here. Okay. All right. It's installed successfully. That's good. Like I always say, no news is good news. And this is telling you what would you do if you had that error because you created the password from SQL earlier. And it tells you how to go in and uninstall that component to do the password. Then install phpMyadmin and then reinstall that password for SQL. So, and then restart the server. So let's go back here. If you're having compatibility issues, we don't need to upgrade the PHP. We already got the good one in. Don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about any of this. This is all strange. I think some of this has to do with the what do you call it? Apache. And we already have databases installed. Okay, I thought I was doing something wrong here. That web page was basically for Apache, so we're going to stop using that one. What I did was, and this is a good tip I've been wanting to tell you all about anyway. This is Microsoft Bing. It came with Microsoft Edge, the AI search engine, and I use this thing all the time. You'd be surprised how much good info it will give you. I just typed in how to install phpMyadmin on Ubuntu running index server, and it gave me the exact way to do it. And so we're going to go ahead and follow through with this. And the next step we have to do is we have to link it. So we're going to copy this, paste this. We got to adjust it though. Remember, we got Carol here. .com. No, not .com. We need to go to the folder, not the actual website. Okay. And then now we can restart Nginx and hope for the best. Think green. Okay, good. Green. And now we're going to adjust that. And this is. You remember before I was telling you that we have that one file we got to be very careful with. Well, we're going to modify that right now, and we're going to be careful with it. And it's going to be sites enabled. And it's going to be Carol. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now what I did is I already took the liberty of adjusting it. But what I did was I copied this right here. I copied this that it wants to be put in, the whole thing. And rather than, what we got here? Hang on a second. Yeah, it's right down here. I copied it right down here in the bottom part of it. This is the one we put in the other day when we were getting PHP installed. And this one here I put in later in the day when I was doing this the first time on that first video. And I just copied and I pasted it right here. And you'll notice down at the bottom, there's two of these little squigglies. One of them belongs to the location, and the other one belongs to the rest of it. So we have to have the two in there. So we got it all in correctly. So now let's just go exit out of here. We would save this and exit. And we would reload Nginx again. Good deal. Okay. And I did not do this part. And that's mainly, you can do this if you'd like. You're going to modify another file in the etc secure PHP and disable the root login. So I'm going to just forget that for right now. Now that's it. We've got it running. So what we do is if we go up to the website, let's see if this will go. I don't know if this hidden links one is going to go. We may still have to make that link if not. Yes, it did. Okay. And I need to show you how to do that. Okay, so here we got it set up. And I do believe we created a person that did the password already. So let's try that, see if I can remember what it was. Okay, yeah. We did a visitor counter. But anyway, here's what phpMyadmin looks like. Extremely powerful. When I first was going through the video yesterday, it did not work. For some reason, when I clicked on this, I went to visits. There was nothing here at all. I had to go in up here under, I think it was insert, and I had to manually add one record just to get this thing to wake up, okay? And then I was able to come in here and do this and see it. Once you're in here, you can do all kinds of things. You can highlight things, edit, modify, delete, once you get it successfully connecting up to the database. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this visitor counter, show you how to do that, and how to put it in the page. I might even already have that done, but let's get out of this for right now, or not log out. Let's leave it run. We'll just go ahead and go back here. And the other thing I did here is I will go find a favorite, but I did this. I said how to install a visitor counter when using PHP and MySQL, and it came up with the exact code, and I saved it. Let's see what I got here. Visitor counter right here. Came up with something like this. No, this is the wrong one. Wrong one. I thought I had this visitor counter here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if I can just demonstrate how that works. Let's see what it comes up with. This isn't the site I used either. Yeah, because this isn't the database I created. The database I created was just visitor counter. And so this isn't the right page, but it's similar. Let me see if I can find the code that I used, actually, which would be better than this. Give me just one moment. Okay, I found it here. Okay, and this is like I was saying before. If you look up here for this Bing thing, and you can see I even typed it wrong. I said how to crest a visitor counter for a website using PHP and MySQL. It came up with the exact one that I used yesterday. And all I did was follow these instructions. Create the database, like we did in the previous video with MySQL. And we created the table, same thing. And then what we did was I copied this code here, which is quite a bit. And it tells us what to do with that. Create a connect.php file and establish a connection to the database. Okay. And then down here is, and you got to copy the code and make another one called dbconnect.php. And I think even this one here might not be the same one I used. We'll go ahead and look at the one I used instead, okay? But I'm going to show you what it does. No, I don't want that. Let's go over here. We're going to get rid of hidden links. And we are going to use counter.php. And this is what it looks like. Remember when we had the regular HTML, it says my website. Now if I hit refresh up here, you'll see that it increments. So once you install that counter, now the thing I don't like about that is it has counter.php, and now that's going to expose the password to the SQL database and the username for the password. So I would not use it like this. Instead, what I did, I'll show you. I had counter.php. I had one like that, but I kind of nested it inside my home page. And I believe I put the code here. Let me take a look here. If not, I know where I did put it. Yes, right here. If you take this and put it somewhere near the top of your index page, your HTML index page, and and then rename your index to index instead of HTML or index.php, and then put this in there up somewhere close to the top, and include the name of that file, which would be counter, just counter.php is for in the case here on this website. Counter.php, this is the one that's being used right now. Then you wouldn't have to have it up here at the back. You wouldn't have to have it here. You could just have carol.com, and the counter would just automatically work because it would be using that other code to pull the counter.php without having to expose it up here. So, and I went through struggling with that because I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get my PHP code to work with inside of an HTML file. And I found out you have to rename the file. Instead of index.html, it's index.php. That tells the the server to go ahead and start processing PHP code that you have inside of the folder. So that's why this is working too on this page, because it's actually going to Carol's. And let me see if I can show. Let me see what it does here. Let's go back here. Okay, I take that back. It's making a liar out of me. I don't have that going right here on this one. It's just got the PHP on here. But let's see what I don't want to. Well, I think what I did here is I think I've explained enough on this on how it works. I'll show you what I am doing right now, and I did the same thing. I did this. I asked it to give me the code, HTML and PHP, for MySQL and using a recipe site, and by gosh, it did it. So let's go take a look at what it gave me. And then it also let me export it. It let me export it to a PDF file. Kind of neat. So this is what I did. This is the HTML form. And you'll notice up here it has the PHP file, because this is actually an HTML, and it's including in the form action. When you hit the word submit, it uses this PHP file here to post it to the server. And then here's the one you make, which is the insert PHP. This is the one that you have. You copy it into the base of your website, right along with the other index and everything. You have to have your local host, your name, password, and a database. And basically, I used this. And then here's it also gave me the code to how to retrieve it and display it, which I thought was awesome. So, and once again, you're going to be connecting up to the your SQL server to pull the data out, and then it's going to use an HTML document to display it. And it's pretty darn neat. And it tells you also how to create the database. Right here is how you create the database, and then the table and everything. It explains to you how it works. I mean, it was just awesome of how much I found just by going to that Bing AI thing and asking it in its best detail as I could what I wanted to do. And so you don't have to be a coding genius, because it'll, by gosh, do it for you. So all you do is copy and paste. So let me try this to show you where I'm going with on my recipe site so far. So it's this is what it looks like so far with that code you just saw. Okay, and if I put in, if I don't put anything in and hit submit, it says please fill out this field. That's pretty cool. So let's see, recipe name, let's say bacon. And bacon. And you'll notice that this field here can stretch too. You make it bigger. And in instructions, and then we just hit submit. It says the recipe submitted successfully. I added the go back button. I searched for a way to add HTML code to that to make it go back. Now if I wanted to display the recipes, I click this. I searched and found the code to display it too, and added this button in. And right here it says bacon. You see it says, and this was the first test one I have, and it just added this one here into the database. And this one here, you don't have a back button. I haven't put one on there yet, so you have to do back yourself. And if I hit refresh, it's empty, but although it's still there, if I go to view the database. So this is how far I've gotten on it so far, and I'm planning on working on this seriously in the next few days or so. I'm going to find out how to pretty up the page, make it a better page, put pictures and everything, and probably force myself to learn a whole lot of HTML coding that I didn't really want to do. But I think it's pretty cool if I can get it going in a decent fashion. I can post it online. One of the other things I was going to show you that I did, I don't know if I think I showed it to you on a video that I did not finish recording yesterday. And let's go, I'm putting these links up here where I can get to them easily now instead of having to search for them. Except for that one. Let's go down here. I know where it's at though. So in order to get your website visible to the outside world, you have to register your domain name. In this case, it'd be myrecipes.com. Right here. This is a website that I registered my main one at, and it only cost me $1.50 to register that the meaning of life .quest. $1.50 is all, and you can search for how you want a domain. Okay, like if I tried to search for the one I was doing before, how about this my recipes? Say I'm going to put it on there as myrecipes.com. Let's see what I can find here. I'll bet you it's in use already. Yep, it's in use. If you want to change it to .inc, yeah, see, my .com is in use, so you can't use it. You can change it to .inc, and it would cost you $50. Let's see if we can find a cheaper one. You do myrecipes.us.com for $14. Whoa, myrecipes.pro, they want $600 to register that puppy. Not me. Here we go. myrecipes.work, $6. Now we're talking my business. Although who's gonna know to do that? But that's why it's available. Is the extension is hardly in use, and that's why it's so cheap. But I've done with the business with these guys. I've talked to them on the phone. These guys are great guys. I mean, they're more than willing to help you out with other problems you may have with your website. Like, for instance, if I had a question about that PHP thing, I'm sure I could have called them and asked them, and they would have told me how to answer that. So they're just great guys all around. So, so that's about all I'm going to say about on this video here. I think I might create another video about how to make it get an SSL cert, a self-signed cert. I did that when I had the Apache web server going. It wasn't very hard to do. The problem is a lot of browsers still don't like self-signed certificates. So whenever somebody goes to it, it squawks pretty loudly at them, and it scares people away from your website when you use a self-signed certificate. So I don't want to really. That's just the bad advice that I mean, I don't want to. I want to give you good advice and tell you to get a good certificate. But the only way to get a good certificate is you have to go and register your site first and pay for it and get it on the domain and put the IP address of where they can get to your server. Like in my case, I had to put the IP address of my home router from how you would see it from the outside world. And then on my router, I forwarded port 80 to my actual server. In this case, it would be 2.210. Okay, so and you have to do that because when you go to register with CertBot to get a SSL certificate, and that's how I'd recommend you do it. Use CertBot because it does it all, configures it all for you automatically. It even configures that scary file that I told you was really touchy. It even configures that with your SSL certs. It copies the new certs from Let's Encrypt into the right places and folders on engine that Nginx uses. And CertBot also will keep a calendar every 90 days and go out automatically and re-request a new certificate since they expire every 3 months. So CertBot's the way to go. But when you do that and you get a certificate, then your website's going to be HTTPS instead of just HTTP, and it'll actually work. And then people will see that your site is secure and not be afraid to click on the link. So I'm still going to debate whether or not to show you how to do the self-sign. You can actually find it yourself too if you just go up to that on that website. Up here, you can type in how to do a self-signed cert in Nginx, and it'll show you how to do it. Because Ubuntu and Nginx comes with a certificate utility that lets you create your own self-signed certificates. So, but I think I would wait on that if I were you until you were ready to go live online, because that way, the less you mess with that one file inside of Nginx, the better you are. I mean, if you do making modifications, make sure you make a copy of it first. So, anyway, we'll let everybody go, and you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.